from New England. Matt McCarthy hanging out in for Joe Murray tonight. We got room for you. 617-779-0985. 11 o'clock, is that right tonight, Skaz? A thumbs up in the back. Normal night show. Very prepared. Definitely know how long I'm on for. Hey, listen, the red light goes on. The call screener goes. You call, I press the button. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science. We're not curing diseases here. We're just talking about sports. And tonight, I get to talk about soccer, which is something I almost never get to do. I am a soccer fan, probably more casual than many, but I am a soccer fan. Legitimately enjoy the sport, love the sport on the international level. I am not as up to speed on the club level as, frankly, I should be for somebody who enjoys the sport as much as I do. But I said this earlier, my favorite sporting event, period, in the world, in any sport, is the World Cup. And I am counting down the days until I am there next year at Gillette Stadium for World Cup matches. It's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I can't wait. I had the opportunity to be at Gillette last year for Messi. And I'm curious how you felt about it, what your reaction was to it tonight. If you're driving home among the 45,000 people who are there tonight, you're more than welcome to join us at 617-779-0985 to talk about seeing the greatest soccer player on planet Earth and maybe the greatest soccer player in the history of the sport, which is saying something. So you are more than welcome to join tonight. We'll get back into the Red Sox as well, but if you're a soccer person, tonight is really one of the few nights throughout the year that you can legitimately talk soccer, and I'm all for it. You want to call? You want to break this thing down? Skaz and I watched the game. We can break it down for you. Skaz is a legit soccer guy back there. So we'll break it down at 617-779-0985. Skaz, this is my takeaway from that one. Holy crap, MLS sucks. Oh, God, it's awful. It's awful. The quality of play in MLS remains terrible, and it's better than it once was. Skaz and I were doing the exercise. I turned to him and I said, this is probably a top 10 league in the world, right? And that's kind of what we came down to, right, Skaz? I mean, it's basically the majority of the number one leagues in Europe, in each of the big European countries, each of the big soccer playing countries in Europe, and then MLS. So, I mean, rank it where you want, but it's pretty much a top 10 league in the world at this point, which it was not years ago. It was not. But Messi is men against boys out there. That is a man against boys. Holy crap. He doesn't even try. He doesn't. And Skaz and I watched him last year. We had a very nice experience. We were up in a booth, we're up, second level there in the box, and we just watch Messi. And the guy runs about 5% of the time. Everybody else out there is busting their ass because the competition is real and it's legit for them. But for Messi, it is child's play. How old is he now? Messi's got to be, 30, 38, 39?
I was going to say 38, 37, 38, right in that range. He's 3 years younger than Ronaldo, I believe.
He could play at 50 in that league. He's 38 years old. He just turned 38. Messi could play in MLS for the next 20 years, and he would still be the best player in that league. And I'm sorry, that has to be the takeaway. And I don't say that to just crap on MLS. And don't get me wrong, I think there are things that they deserve it for. Like the fact that you couldn't watch this game tonight unless you have Apple TV is completely and totally ridiculous. And I never expected to be the Premier League. It's not the Premier League. It's not La Liga. It's not the Bundesliga. It's not the top, leagues in Europe. But when you watch a guy, Skaz, who doesn't even try, is that a fair way to describe the way that Messi plays? Which is what makes it a great experience to watch as a fan, because it's like, that guy doesn't even try, and he's still so much better than everybody else. Is that a fair assessment of Messi versus the MLS?
I think that's pretty fair. It's like incremental trying. He has spurts of trying, but even when he's trying in MLS, he's not overly exerting himself.
Which is just crazy that he still has this much to give and that he is in MLS, which is a great thing for the league. And it's a great thing for soccer in this country, and it's too bad that none of you can actually watch it, and that I can't watch it. And thank God Skaz has Apple TV. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to watch it tonight because I don't have it.
Just a note on that, too. It's not just having Apple TV. That's part of the problem, too. You have to have Apple TV, and you have to have the MLS season pass, which is another, I think it's $15 a month, but if you get in now, I think it's 12 or something like that. So it's just, soccer is way too hard to watch in this country.
Well, no. Soccer is actually as easy to watch in this country as it's ever been before. With Fubo and, I mean, man, what's going on right now internationally in soccer? We've got the Women's Euros, which are on TV every day. It's on Fox,
The
right?
FIFA Club World Cup is going on, and they've had a lot of free games, and a lot of the games are on DAZN, or whatever you want to call it, and they are free, but you have to download the app and get into the app.
Easy enough, right? I mean, and don't get me wrong, it'd be better if it were on local TV and Channel 4 and that thing, but at least you can access it. The fact that you need to pay for essentially MLS Sunday ticket to watch your local game is absurd. It's completely and totally absurd for a league that is trying to grow and has the biggest growth opportunity you possibly could ever have for a league where this is a nation that's into soccer more than it's ever been before. Our generation, Skaz, likes soccer. The generations below us, I was talking about this before the game tonight, kids in my life, last year, Christmas time, birthdays, after Messi came to the United States, the only thing they wanted for Christmas and their birthdays? Messi jerseys.
It's what I asked for Christmas.
Did you get it?
No, I just got this T-shirt.
You didn't get a Messi jersey?
No, I have a Messi jersey, I'm sure. I would make someone else buy that for me.
Now you're starting to backtrack it.
You got to have the Argentina 10.
I love your girlfriend. She did not get you a Messi jersey?
No, she is not. Maybe that's the next step. That's when I'll know. That's when you know she's the one.
Michaela, come on, Michaela. What does Skaz ever ask for? What do you ask for?
Not much.
You just want a Messi jersey, don't you?
Low maintenance guy.
Just one simple. You want the pink?
I want the Argentina.
You want the Argentina?
Yeah, that's the classic. The stripes.
Get this man. He deserves it. He's a good person back there. He asked for nothing. And you know what? He probably didn't even ask because we don't know how to ask as guys and all that. But Michaela, if you're listening, the man just wants a Messi jersey. He doesn't ask for anything. Just Messi Argentina 10. Doesn't even need to have the name on the back, right? Just Argentina 10.
Just a 10. Everyone knows. That's I guess Maradona as well, but people know it's Messi now.
Messi greater than Maradona.
I think even the most loyal, Maradona fans would probably say that at this point.
Messi greater than Pele?
I would say yes. I obviously never saw Pele, but I think Lionel Messi is the best athlete to ever play his sport, any sport. I think he is that good. I may be a little biased, but...
And he's still that good. Which is crazy that he's here against, as I said, Messi, the GOAT. It's the GOAT against the GOAT farmers. Because that's what MLS still is. And it's gotten better. But it's still that. 617-779-0985. I see on the phone lines, I promise. We got to hit a break. But this is your chance to talk Messi. It's your chance to talk soccer. We'll do that. We'll get back into the Red Sox a little bit later on. But I see you. We'll take care of you. It's Matt McCarthy in for Joe Murray. A quick break, then we're right back with you.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
And tonight, home runs for Narvaez, Abreu, Gonzalez, and Duran. Lucas Giolito picked up the win. 6 innings of scoreless ball, 4 hits. Red Sox open up a series with the Rays tomorrow night at Fenway Park. Sean McAdam reporting that a top Red Sox official is dismissing the idea that the Red Sox would look into trading Alex Bregman if a contract extension could not be reached by the trading deadline. Bregman is expected to return to the lineup this weekend before the All-Star break. MLB announcing they will use the automated ball strike challenge system in Tuesday's All-Star game. Yankees designating DJ LeMahieu for assignment. He's owed $22 million through next season. Devin Booker signing a 2-year max extension with the Phoenix Suns, $145 million. Chet Holmgren signing a 5-year max extension in Oklahoma City. That's worth up to $250 million. And at Wimbledon, Novak Djokovic and Jannik Sinner advance to the semifinals. Headlines are brought to you by Premier Basement Waterproofing. Now's the time for crawl space encapsulation, and don't forget to ask about the Santa Fe dehumidifier to keep humidity out this summer. 844-LIVE-DRY or premierbasement.net. It's game over for water. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update in 30 minutes.
No matter where you go, you're always connected to Boston sports with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app. Download it wherever you get your apps today.
Long ball out of the back. Wegant. Fofana wins the header for the Revs. Beeson hits it right to the wrong guy. And Lionel Messi uses the left and buries it. 1-0 Miami. Well, you can't give most pro players a chance like that, and certainly not the greatest player in history. The Revs, their own worst enemy, and trail by 1 at home.
I'm not a soccer expert. I'm a soccer casual. But I think in some ways this is similar to, hockey, where you don't want to pass the puck in your own slot. You don't want to do a no-look thing and put it right in front of your own goal. That is exactly what Mr. Beeson did on that play. He headed it back towards the middle of the pitch, back towards his goalie, nowhere near his goalie, but in the general direction of his goalie, and waiting there was the greatest player in the history of the game, who has really no interest in running at all, but was just kind of standing there. It might be... How many goals has Lionel Messi scored in his life?
Oh, in his life? Oh, man.
Like 1,000? I mean, seriously, didn't he have like a 92-goal season for Barcelona at some point?
Yeah, the greatest season ever. He scored 92 goals in a season.
It's insane.
872 is the first number I'm seeing. I don't know how up-to-date that is, but...
What, after they gave up 2 to him tonight?
So maybe 874? I don't know.
Either way, of his 870-plus goals, that might have been the easiest in his entire career. Oh, my God. How do you not laugh when you look at that thing? And it was in that moment where I turned to Skaz and I said, MLS has nothing on this guy. He doesn't... These guys don't belong out here with him. And then the second goal, is it possible for a man to be more wide open and to just waltz right through a defense the way he did? I mean, that back line for the Revs was Swiss cheese. Holy crap. He's tremendous to watch. He really is. And I guess, by the way, Messi, 2 goals tonight, paid out a pretty penny, huh?
Yeah, Messi, a big fan of playing the New England Revolution. This from Gustavo Lopez, who does a great job covering. I think he covers one of the Brazilian teams. He also does like a lot of DAZN stuff. But he had this tweet: if my numbers are correct, the New England Revolution is the team that has conceded the most goals to Lionel Messi since he arrived in MLS. That's 7 goals. Columbus in second place with 4, tied with Montreal. So Messi loves playing the Revolution.
So that's... Well, he played the full game tonight, which was a shock. We didn't even know if he was going to play tonight. Midweek, turf, you got that whole thing going on, but he's put on a show. If you've gone to these games, and Skaz and I were there last year, it was honestly one of the cooler sporting experiences I've been to, Skaz, just like watching him, even though, again, it's the GOAT versus GOAT farmers. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, that was a 1-1 type event, for someone like me that's a massive Messi fan. And yeah, like you said, it's all you do is watch him too. Like and I'm a big Revs fan, but when it's Messi, he's just different. There's something different about, like everyone on the pitch knows. And as soon as he touches the ball, it's funny to watch everyone else. There's immediate panic. There's tons of clips of Messi. There's like compilations people put out of him in the MLS where walking. The second he gets the ball, everyone else on the field just starts sprinting in whatever direction he's going because you have to. Whether you're on his team or not, just be paying attention.
He changes the game completely. It's a joy to watch. It really was. And those 2 goals tonight, well, one of them he ran. The second one, the first one was, you don't want to give him that opportunity. I'm not a soccer expert, but I don't think that is the design play there. It's just my sense. 617-779-0985. To you, your thoughts on Messi. Ryan in New Hampshire. Ryan.
Yeah, how's it going?
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. My son and I are on our way home from the game. And I got to tell you, as a season ticket holder, being there with my son to see Messi for the first time was awesome. But as a Revs fan, it was really hard to hear the boos for the Revs and the cheers for Miami.
It's the way it is. It's the way it is. And if you're somebody who really does care about, and the Revs fans, I've talked to them. I did Revs pregame and postgame for many years before Apple TV and MLS came in. And, we would do local kind of sports sub pregame and postgame. I've talked to many Revs fans, and they are a passionate bunch. They're really good. It is a small, tight-knit, really good bunch of fans. And I get that. Like, you're a diehard Revs fan, and you say, people are here not for the Revs, but for Messi. But that's the way it is. I don't know. I mean, I think you get that. I think most Revs fans get that. It is it might be a once-in-a-lifetime experience for you to watch Messi play in person, and that's why people are there. I mean, it is that type of thing. I mean, my dad took me to see Michael Jordan when he was on the Wizards because it's like, well, I want to say that I took my son to see Michael Jordan. There's that. I mean, that's what this thing is. And if you're upset with that element being in the building, I would kind of direct some of that towards the Revs themselves, because there's no reason, not that you're going to get Lionel Messi, because this is a one-of-one thing. You think about it, and Skaz, you can speak to this better than me. I mean, when Beckham came over here, I don't want to say Beckham was on his last legs, and Messi is a way better player than David Beckham ever was, and Beckham was a good player. But what Messi is doing right now is something that Beckham didn't do here. I mean, Messi is the best player in the league, and Beckham probably was too, but didn't dominate, if I recall, the way that Messi is dominating. I think that's probably a fair way to put it. But Beckham started something by bringing over these players, on the back nine. It's kind of their retirement gig, and then you bring in legitimate, European world star power. Guys you see on the world stage, starring in the World Cup, playing for Barcelona, playing for Manchester United, playing for Real Madrid, like that thing. MLS has really leveled up its league. I mean, it's still not very good, but it's way better than it was 20 years ago. It's way better than it was when Beckham came over, and Beckham started that thing. By Beckham coming over, more players started to come over, and it legitimized MLS a little bit more. Over the course of the last, and it's now close to 20 years, when did Beckham come here? Like 07, 08, somewhere around there?
Yeah, 07 to 12.
It's been 18 years since Beckham, and that was the watershed moment for MLS. It's been 18 years since Beckham came here. So many teams in MLS have brought over star players from Europe or, from the world stage. Why have the Revs not done it?
Yeah, I think money's, obviously a big part of that. I think it's also, putting themselves in the right position to get one of these guys as well, because it is, 99 out of 100 times their decision when they're that level where they're going to end up. And just more to your point, the MLS was a weaker league when Beckham was in it. Mm-hmm. David Beckham played 98 games for the LA Galaxy. He scored 18 goals. Lionel Messi has played 40 games for Inter Miami and has scored 35 goals.
So he's doubled Beckham's output in
less than half.
In a year and a half.
Yeah.
And Beckham played here for 5 years. Now, again, Beckham was a free kick specialist. That was
different role.
Different role, different player, all that thing. And Beckham was more of a celebrity than he was a true. I mean, Beckham was, I would argue, Beckham was never the best player in the world. I mean, in 2007, Ronaldinho was the best player in the world. It wasn't David Beckham. Lionel Messi is still legitimately one of the best players in the world. Probably not the best at this point at 38, but I mean, he still has a ton to give. And he's out there dominating this league like you wouldn't believe.
And just some context, obviously, different game and all that, but the FIFA Club World Cup, Inter Miami was in it, and they played PSG, who is the best team in the world right now.
No doubt. Champions League.
Yeah, they are. What they're doing is, it's like Pep at Barca. It is that dominant. But Messi in Miami lost to them. I believe 3-0, something like that. Real Madrid, who, even if you're not a soccer fan, you are aware of Real Madrid, played PSG.
This is not the Hugo Gonzalez Real Madrid. This is the real.
This is
the real Real. The
Kylian
real
Mbappe,
Real Madrid.
Jude Bellingham, yes.
Yeah.
They lost 4-0 to PSG today, and Lionel Messi had more shots on goal against PSG than Real Madrid did as a team. So, Real Madrid, world-class team, one of the best in the world, but Messi still has it. It's obviously not what it was, even 3 years ago, but he still has some magic left in those boots.
And you can't effing watch it. Oh, it's criminal. It's criminal. It really is. 617-779-0985. Charlie in New Hampshire. Charlie.
Hello.
How you doing, Charlie?
I'm doing good.
What do you got to say tonight?
I just came back. Coming home from the Revs game, and I want to talk about how bad that ref was.
Was he not good?
No, he was not calling anything for the refs. There was plenty of handballs on Inter Miami, but there was no calls.
You know what, Charlie? The fix is in. I'm with you on that. They're rigging it in Messi's favor. Which, by the way, and I say this in jest to you, Charlie, and you can call anytime. Thanks for the phone call. We appreciate it. Always welcome here on the night show. They're fixing it for Messi.
I think that call is a good sign for the Revs.
Yes.
Yes. If you're getting ref calls, you're starting to make it a little bit. You got the younger fan base upset at the refs. It's a good sign for the Revs right there, I think.
Skaz, how many younger fans do I get calling me about the Red Sox?
I would imagine not too many.
Not many at all. Not many at all. Good night for the sport if you were there. And Charlie, my guy, was there. We were here. We were watching it because Skaz has an Apple TV thing. Go out to a bar, anything like that? Can't see the game. Gordon in Littleton. Gordon.
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen?
How you doing?
I'm calling because I think it's time for the Crafts to sell the team.
It's not going to happen.
They brought MLS to New England, and I think that's wonderful. But we have been regressing for the last 5 years. We set the record for the best regular season in MLS history. And then not only did we not expand past that and win a championship, we managed to get worse and miss the playoffs for both of the last 2 years. You look at that team and you look at this team, and we've gotten older or worse in every single position, including the head coach, who we've never figured out why he got let go. So I think it's time to start questioning the Kraft's ownership.
Well, I think Revs fans have questioned the Kraft ownership for years, decades now, and rightfully so. And where I'll question the Krafts is, and we were getting into this, Skaz, a little bit, and I'll get more into it on the other side. It's been 20 years of bringing star players to MLS. Why has it never happened here? And it's because of the money. I mean, don't tell me it's because of turf. I saw Messi playing on turf tonight. Messi, the greatest ever. He'll play on turf. You know why? Because he's got a cut from Apple TV, and Lord knows what type of backroom deals have been made to make sure that Messi plays in front of the fans. Money talks, baby. Money talks. They're not going to sell the team. No way it's going to happen. But you should put pressure on them to bring in more star players. Any star player. Carlos Gil can play. Carlos Gil's a good player. But you and I did an exercise, guys. How many times has Carlos Gil suited up for Spain?
Once as for the under-21 squad, I believe, is the research we found.
Meanwhile, Inter Miami has Messi, Suarez, and Busquets. 3 guys right away that I, as a casual soccer fan, know. 617-779-0985. Ownership has something to do with that. We'll get more into that coming up. Your thoughts. It's McCarthy in for Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on
Joe Murray tonight. See you on the line. I know many of you are leaving Gillette Stadium and sitting in traffic. We'll get to you. Like legit Revs postgame tonight here on the Sports Hub. The organization down. And, you know, you can probably speak to your your gripes better than I can, because I think, the Revs fans have been, in this for years and years and years, and you can talk about the ins and outs of it. I can't. I'm more of a casual. I love soccer, but I'm really into the international scene. I'm not as into the club scene, and MLS is not the league I'm most up on. So you can talk a little bit more about the ins and outs of, what you think your problems with ownership are. And I mean, it's all legit, right? It is. But this would be my biggest gripe as a casual fan. Here's a list of some guys who have come over since Beckham in 2007 to MLS. Some names that I think, just the average sports fan would know. Or if you're a casual soccer fan. Beckham, Henry, Kaká, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, David Villa, star for Spain in those great, great Spanish teams. Wayne Rooney, great English striker. Chicharito, Drogba. Am I missing guys? I mean, so many guys. There were, U.S. players here. They were all in Toronto, right? Michael Bradley. Clint Dempsey was here the first time, but came back the second time. He was in Seattle. Who else was in... Josie Altidore was there. Back in, the height of Josie Altidore.
Jermaine Jones played for the Revs for a minute.
That's the best one. That's the biggest one. Who's the biggest star the Revs have brought in, legit international, bona fide international player, and it was the defensive midfielder from the 2014 U.S. roster, Jermaine Jones. And they went to the championship that year. They went to MLS Cup, and they lost, I think, they lost the Galaxy, right? And Bruce Arena.
That sounds right.
I think they did. Was Donovan there at the time? I think Donovan was still there. Landon Donovan, that guy who refused to go play in Europe because he just wanted to play against goat farmers. Goat farmers and UPS guys. All due respect to goat farmers and UPS guys. We need him. But that's who he was playing with in Los Angeles. None of those guys I just named, the stars who have come over here, and listen, a lot of them were on their last legs. Kaká was on his last legs. Henry was on his last legs. Not all of them are Lionel Messi, who still have so much to give to the game, but the Revs have had none of those guys. And the one time they went out and added something anywhere near that, a legit U.S. international player in Jermaine Jones, the one time they did that, they went to the MLS Cup. That's on ownership. Why? Star players are going to continue to come to the United States. Who's the next one coming over? You said maybe Kevin De Bruyne, the Belgian star?
I don't think he's going to, but there were reports, but it was either San Diego, I think Chicago, the Fire might have his rights, but I don't think it's going to happen, but that was one of the rumors that he could come here.
There's no reason why we shouldn't get one of those guys eventually. And it might not be De Bruyne, but, we could just run down the list 5 years from now, 10 years from now. The latest, guy on his last legs, when Haaland is 38 years old type of thing. There's no reason you shouldn't be in the market, in the business for that guy. And the Revs just haven't been in the business for that guy.
Yeah, De Bruyne already agreed to go to Napoli, so He's not coming here. He's going to a real league and a real team.
Boy, that's the other takeaway from this. Where's MLS ranked?
Ninth.
MLS is essentially the ninth best domestic league according to a FIFA ranking. The Prem is 1, La Liga is 2, I'm guessing the Bundesliga is 3, Serie A 4 type of thing. MLS is a top 10 league in the world, and it does not look like it. When you see Messi tonight, real quick though, before we get back to the calls, how do you fix that, Skaz? Do you fix that? How do you get MLS, and they've made so much progress. They have. Because it's not what it was when Beckham came over here. It's way better, but it's still not on Messi's level. Not even close. How does the United States get to that point, and how does MLS get to that point, if they ever do?
Yeah, I think if you're looking at it from a real, over-the-top view, top to bottom, all these other countries have academies and youth clubs where these kids are literally you're part of Chelsea, part of Liverpool, part of Barcelona, La Masia, whatever it is, when you're 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years, and you're in their system, getting coached by, retired pros, all that stuff. The soccer outside of the United States is a way of life for a lot of these other countries, and it's not here, and that can be, advantageous at times, and obviously a big disadvantage when it comes to the MLS. So, I don't think it's ever going to get to that level where there's youth academies everywhere for every MLS team, but maybe regionalized youth academies or something like that would be a great first step. I honestly hope that Messi being in the MLS and, re-energizing the league and this new, 10-year-olds that are watching Messi saying, yeah, maybe I want to play soccer. It become the biggest celebrity in the world. People think LeBron James is famous. Jason Tatum is famous. They're nothing compared to, nothing is a little strong, but relatively not celebrity at all compared to, Messi and Ronaldo and even Neymar and guys like that.
And that's the impact of having Messi here. It was the impact of having Beckham here 20 years ago. And things have only grown since then. I mean, Messi's way bigger than Beckham ever was when he came here. Soccer's in a better place in the United States just because generations have gotten older. I mean, Skaz, our generation likes soccer. And the generation beneath us, kids love soccer. I'm telling you, you go into any elementary school in America, any high school in America, you're going to see just as many Messi jerseys as you will anything else. It's true. It's the way it is. So that MLS has going for it. But the TV, they got to fix that. And relegation, they got to fix that too. They need relegation. I want to, the Revs, you need to be relegated if you finish below the line. There needs to be MLS 1 and MLS 2, and it'll never work here because of the money and the owners and all that stuff. Soccer is a meritocracy. It's the ultimate meritocracy in all of sports with the relegation system, and we need to have it here. 617-779-0985. How about John in the car? John.
Hey, I just wanted to weigh in on how we can fix the youth soccer programs and make the MLS a better league as a whole. I mean, I grew up playing club soccer. I think I know pretty well that it costs a lot of money to play for some of these clubs, especially the really competitive ones. And a lot of parents and families can't afford this for the kids. And it's a lot of travel, and it's a big time commitment for people who have full-time jobs. And the kids that really have a lot of talent, in all honesty, can't really afford to play in most of these cases.
So there are systemic issues, no doubt about it, at U.S. soccer. And we need way longer a program tonight to talk about the systemic issues. I do want to talk about the game and Messi and that whole thing. How about David in Boca? Hey, David.
Hey, Matt. Two things. Number one, you said something when I first joined about the referees. Do you know how many penalties Messi has taken since he joined Inter Miami?
Let me guess. An embarrassing low number of penalties.
2.
Two.
Yep.
Two. As in he has been called for fouls twice.
No, not fouls. I believe Joseph Martinez took 2. When he was here, and they just had the lowest number. And I think in comparison, Nashville has already had 9 this year, and not even half a season.
Penalty shots.
Correct.
Okay. I'm not here to break down soccer refereeing. We had a younger caller earlier who had a problem with the way the game was officiated, and if you want to get into that, you're more than welcome to. At 617-779-0985.
I think, if anything, that just shows that the refs aren't helping Messi that much. If he's only taken 2 penalties since he's been in MLS, I would have thought it was much more than that.
Well, I mean, again, Skaz, that would involve Messi trying.
Yeah, that would. I do think there may be a little bit of, and we're allowed to cross sports at night. I heard this from Wayne Gretzky. They asked him when he knew it was time to retire, and I don't think this is what's happening to Messi, but I think the way he's defended maybe a little like this. Gretzky said he knew it was time to retire when he would go into the boards for a puck, and guys would come up behind him and be like, "Hey, behind you!" Basically, no one wanted to be the guy that took out Wayne Gretzky. I think I don't know if anyone in MLS is going to, land a two-footed shot on Messi inside the box. I think you're trying to be as safe as you can with your golden ticket. I think the WNBA could maybe learn a little something about protecting, the thing that brings in all the money, but, a different league.
It's a good point. Very good point. It is the exact opposite of the Caitlin Clark experience. Quick update, right back with you. It's McCarthy in for Joe.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Trying to envision somebody going in spikes high on Messi. What a way to get shot. You'll never see that guy again. But number 4, Beeson for the Revs tonight. And no way he was going to try that. Murray tonight. We've got room for you, 617-779-0985. We'll get into the Red Sox before the night is out, but you want to talk Revs? We'll talk Revs off a big Messi night. Let's go to Owen in Falmouth. Hey, Owen.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, Owen?
I just want to say that Caleb Porter is the worst coach I think we've ever had. You know, we sat through Brad Friedel. He was awful as well, but I think Caleb Porter is just as bad, if not worse.
Okay, I'm actually going to let you go on that because I think your take sucks. You think Caleb Porter is worse than Brad Friedel? Come on, man. I'm not Mr. Soccer over here. I'm not Mr. Revs, but I know just enough to know how bad Brad Friedel was at his job. And I know that Caleb Porter is a good coach. Caleb Porter is a guy who's been successful in Portland. He's been successful in Columbus. And you're going to tell... I'd argue Caleb Porter is the best coach in Boston right now. That's a very low bar.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but yeah.
Okay, who's better?
Joe Mazzulla has a ring.
Joe Mazzulla cost the Celtics a chance at another ring, which is an almost incredible, seemingly impossible feat, Skaz, as a coach in the NBA. Do you know how bad you have to be to negatively impact your team as a coach in the NBA?
You have to be like Vinny Del Negro bad. Like, you have to be one of the worst coaches.
Was Joe Mazzulla... How much blame does Joe Mazzulla deserve for the way that things went down in that Knicks series?
I would say he deserves a large part of the blame, for sure. I also think the players deserve a large part of the blame.
No doubt, but Joe Mazzulla not... He might have a ring. Alex Cora has a ring. How's Alex Cora done this year? What's Alex Cora done in the last 6 years?
Joe Mazzulla greater than Alex Cora.
It's a low bar, man. Mike Vrabel has been to one AFC championship game, was fired in Tennessee after going 5-11 in back-to-back years.
The best coach in Boston is the GM of the Boston Celtics.
Yes. Yeah, no doubt about it. I think Porter's a good coach. It hasn't totally worked out here yet, but what are you... The fact that they got a coach of Caleb Porter's quality after the way that things went down with Bruce Arena and whatever the hell happened there, and we still don't have the answers on that, I don't think firing the coach is the answer. I'd look more towards the top. If you're a Revs fan, look more towards the top. How about Sepp in the car? Sepp.
Yo.
How you doing?
Yeah, good. We're driving back from the game. It was a great game. It was beautiful to see Messi. Every touch was really brilliant. The guy is impeccable. But Suarez, really, if you like to get foreign people back here in America, Suarez is too old. He's not bringing it. He had a couple of chances to score. He didn't do the work. So I don't think that all the European players should come over. In the old days, you didn't mention Franz Beckenbauer, who went to New York Cosmos, Johan Cruyff, who went to the Cosmos.
Pele at the Cosmos.
Pele was here. So they were maybe early on bringing enthusiasm, and they promoted the soccer game. But you really have to be patient. I've been here now in America for the last 25 years. Soccer has improved tremendously. Really, from boring games, and that was really embarrassing to be in a stadium. Now there is a good atmosphere. There's really exciting soccer. It's not at European level, but it's good. It's really good.
Better,
so what we're missing now is, and they mentioned it before, but we have to give the American youth the chance to really grow into the game. They are going to make the game and the whole competition at a higher level, and we need the Messis and maybe the next guy that's coming from Europe just to promote the game, to bring enthusiasm, but really trust that the American players will make the difference. There's enough talent.
But it's not Suarez, according to you. And on the call screener here, it says Luis Suarez is fat. Did you say that to the call screener?
The call screener is right. Yeah, he did. He picked up the right feedback on Suarez, but he is. Come on, let's be honest.
There we go. Thank you, Seth. But I went to that call thinking it was going to be humorous, and it was. But then he broke down. Seth knows his soccer, man. That's a good soccer call. He broke it all down, and most importantly, he's like, yes, Luis Suarez is fat.
Call in anytime, please.
Tremendous.
But also on the Suarez thing, if you're they have the For You page on Twitter now, and a lot of mine is soccer, and I follow a lot of Barcelona accounts, stuff like that. they would all agree with that call. Luis Suarez gets torched for his play in the MLS somewhat frequently, actually. And people being like, I can't believe Messi still passes to this guy, basically, which is, because Luis Suarez, maybe the best, if not one of the best strikers of this generation at Liverpool, was otherworldly. So, yeah, I do think that I agree with his sentiment there, though, that you don't want to be the retirement league.
No, but it was for a while, but now it's not. And that's the beauty of Messi coming here. So you were explaining to me during the break, so Miami is bringing in another real legit dude from Madrid, right?
Yeah, so the rumor is that Rodrigo de Paul is going to come to Inter Miami next.
And he can play.
He is, still very good. 31 years old, like you said. Starts for Argentina. Started for Atletico. He's a box-to-box midfielder that's, when he's in his prime, one of the best in the world. And he's still, at the end of that prime. He's certainly not, 38, 39.
But he's coming to play with Messi.
Yeah, he's basically a Messi bodyguard.
That's the thing. You bring in somebody like me, and when what Sepp is saying is totally true. It's like, Americans need to develop our own players, and we are. I mean, I think we're, if you look at the roster that the U.S. is going to put out next year at the World Cup, it's not working out right now. I mean, the U.S. men's national team is a dumpster fire of all dumpster fires. But in Game 1 in Los Angeles, I think they're opening games in Los Angeles next year, that will be undeniably the most talented, athletic, best roster the U.S. will ever have fielded. Filled with guys who are impact players in Europe. Pulisic, Reyna, Tyler Adams. These are, even Donovan Dempsey. But Dempsey was really the only guy who was like an impact player in Europe. Donovan was such a wimp and refused to go over there because he knew he was going to get his ass kicked.
He went for a day, I think, and they sent him home or something like that.
What a putz.
He signed, I want to say it was like Everton or something. I could be wrong, but
I think it was.
He signed with somebody and they were like,
never
no
mind.
thanks.
Yeah.
But Dempsey was legit good. He was Bournemouth, I think, or I can't remember where, but Fulham, that's right, yes. And he was very good. And then Tim Howard. So the U.S. has goalies that have had very good careers. Tim Howard was great, but this generation, your Pulisic, your even Gio Reyna, who's kind of what's going on there. But they have talent. Weston McKennie, Yunus Musa, they have guys.
Bologan, right?
Yeah.
It's not really working on the pitch, but that's all right. How about Chris and Franklin to wrap up our soccer discussion? We just did an hour on soccer. How about that?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
I just think it's hysterical that they talk about Messi being like the largest athlete of all time in sports. It's like they couldn't even fill that place at Gillette tonight. I mean, in my opinion, soccer died with Maradona.
It's a bad take.
How old do you think that guy was? Because I'm not sure he ever saw Maradona.
It's a bad take.
Well, we get a lot of bad ones. It's got to be right up there.
At first, but the thing that surprised me about it is I thought he was going to be like an I hate soccer type of thing. Because he really gave off that vibe, but then he was just like, Messi has nothing on Maradona. I'm like, oh wait, so you're an actual soccer fan? He's just like the world's biggest Maradona fan. That's that, and he's holding it against Messi.
Even Maradona loved Messi. What are we doing?
Listen,
countrymen.
Listen, according to Ray Hudson, he's no Riquelme, which is a reference about 5 people out there get. But that's all right. We continue. We'll get into the Sox from tonight. It's McCarthy on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
watch them again. I mean, let me tell you, if the Red Sox played the Rockies every night, they'd be 162-0. 10-2, the Red Sox won tonight. They just poured it on late against. Tell you what, Skaz, let's play a game. Name a Rocky. Do it.
Earlier when you asked me this, I believe I said Ubaldo Jimenez, so that's about my Rockies knowledge.
No, like name a Rocky now.
Yeah, that's what I got for you.
Ubaldo Jimenez?
Troy Tulowitzki.
Definitely not. No.
Kyle Freeland, I think.
Oh, yes, he pitched last night.
I saw him.
Okay, there you go. That's a Rocky. Wow. Holy crap, this team sucks. I know. Like, honestly, I'm looking at their active roster right now. I know 1, 2, 3. I know their backup catcher, or maybe their regular catcher. I don't know. Austin Nola. He's Aaron's brother. McMahon, 4. Yeah, this isn't great. Fernandez, 5. Moniak, 6. I can't believe I just named 6 Rocky. I couldn't name them, but I looked at them, and yes, I did see that. I think I've heard of that guy before. That's the best way to describe that thing. The real test begins now for the Red Sox. Rays for 4, and then you get the Phillies, the Cubs, Dodgers after the All-Star break. Red Sox just pouring it on tonight, and they'll be the first to tell you how great their offensive approach is. And I saw Lou Merloni tweeting out earlier tonight that Pete Fozzie deserves a lot of credit, to which I would actually agree with a little bit, because I do think they've changed their approach. But let's be honest. These pitchers the Red Sox have faced for the last 6 days,